Well, new school year is less than a week away for students and their families. Dr. L Colbert, Superintendent of Fayetteville Schools, joining us live today to talk about how the district is preparing during this global pandemic. Superintendent, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So let's first talk about the different options for families who are sending their students back to school this upcoming school year. I know Fayetteville has a lot of them. What are the different options?
Yes, we do. We have several, trying to meet the needs of all students. Let's talk about the K through 6 model. They have, of course, the home campus virtual learning. They can do the hybrid, the 2x3 learning, or the traditional 5-day learning, or, we have what our Fayetteville Virtual Academy. And so that would be for K through 6. Then we can look at 5 options for 7 through 12. We have the Fayetteville Learning option itself. That's where the students actually stay at home and be able to do that. We have the traditional learning, the 2x3 hybrid, which is K-12 only. Then we have the 4x1 hybrid, which is 7 through 12, and then the home campus virtual learning, as well as, like I said, we have the Fayetteville Virtual Academy.
I know earlier this summer, Fayetteville was one of the few districts in the state that was actually not offering 5-day-a-week option for students, and that was kind of changed at the last minute after word from the governor and from the state. Was that difficult to have to change here in just the last few weeks?
Well, we adjusted quickly. The old saying, monitor and adjust. We did that quickly in trying to accommodate our families. And so we did that to make sure that we would follow the guidelines as set by the state. And so we did go ahead and include that 5-day on-site learning option.
For students that will be on site, as well as teachers and staff, what is going to be the face mask policy within the district?
Fayetteville was the first to go ahead and pass the policy saying that all students and staff will wear a face mask. For students, that would be students in grades K through 12. So we're going to ask all students to wear the face mask, and especially when we cannot do the social distancing. So that would be a requirement for all students.
Is that something that will be provided by the district, or will families be sending those with students?
The families will be sending those with their child, and so if someone cannot afford it, we will have some extras to accommodate any students who need.
Leading up to the school year, we've seen a lot of creativity from teachers who are working to really innovate within their classrooms and offer different ways to make them safe for students who are returning while still offering social distancing and those sorts of things. What examples of work by Fayetteville teachers can you give us of that creativity in setting up their classrooms?
Sure. We always ask teachers to think outside the box, and that's going to be happening quite a bit this year with COVID-19. And as we look at that, teachers are going to be rearranging their classrooms, removing excess furniture out and only utilizing the required furniture there to create the social distancing. And then also by having a little goodie box for individual students. They cannot share any supplies, so they will have their own little goodie box that they would be using, that they can go to and get their supplies. And so, of course, having the kids being able to move when necessary, when at the command of the teacher. And so they're going to be thinking outside the box and monitoring and adjust as they go along each day.
Sure. And I know that the district has been in communication with parents since the beginning. What are some of the biggest concerns you've heard from parents, and how are those being addressed?
The biggest concern we hear is safety, and will the kids be wearing face masks? So we've taken care of the face mask concerns, as we stated earlier. That's a requirement by all students to wear a face mask. And then the other big thing about the safety piece, are we going to be able to do the social distancing? Would they be able to stay and have the social distancing within the hallway? So each school has developed their pathways as kids walk up and down the hallways. There'll be one way in and one way out. And so therefore trying to make sure that we do provide that safe distance for the kids to keep them safe.
Sure. Well, we have a few more questions for you. We'll have those on the other side of this commercial break.
Sure.
We are joined again live with Dr. L Colbert. He's the superintendent of the Fayetteville School District, talking about the impact of COVID-19 on the district's plans for the upcoming school year. And Doctor, I know a lot of people want to know what the sanitation protocols will be for the district, both for regular cleaning and then if or when someone does get sick in one of your buildings.
Sure. Of course, our custodians will be doing the deep cleaning every evening to ensure that the room is prepared for the students when they return the next day. And then during the day, we would do the key touch points there and trying to make sure that we disinfect all of the touch punch areas that may occur. And we, of course, we will be following the CDC guidelines to make sure that we are following and cleaning things correctly. And then, of course, we will provide alcohol-based wipes and hand sanitizers for each of the classrooms for the teachers and students to use.
Have you had to increase your janitorial staff to accommodate that, or is that being done by the current staff?
It's been done by the current staff.
Okay.
We may have to do a little adjustment as school starts, so we're waiting to see how that goes.
Gotcha. Let's talk about extracurriculars. Obviously, you have a lot of students who are student athletes or participating in different music or other extracurricular activities. What's the district doing to make sure all of those students are safe?
Of course, you know, when we look at all the athletic and activities, that especially when we come to some type of sports activity, the indoor and large outdoor facilities, we will be following the guidelines that's set by AAA. And also, we would, in order to help facilitate that and make sure things are safe, we will do all of the selling of tickets. We have e-tickets that they can do electronically, and so therefore to cut down on the passing of money, whatever. So therefore, that's going to help us. Then also, we will be looking at a reduced capacity at the different events. We will be looking at, like the stadium there, we'll probably do the 50% ratio when we're selling the tickets, and then we can even go all the way up to 66% of the capacity with standing room only. So we're going to be creative in looking at and following the guidelines to make sure that we would keep all the spectators safe and also come out and enjoy watching the students doing the cheers and the football games. Oh, yes.
And just quickly here at the end, I know just a few weeks ago we reported on the protest by the Fayetteville Education Association leading into the new school year. What's the district's response to teachers' concerns leading into next week?
Well, the biggest concern is the safety piece and making sure that we can ensure them that they are going to be safe when they do return back to the classroom, and making sure that we follow the guidelines that's been set by the Board of Education, especially wearing the face mask. We have to make sure that we enforce that to make sure that everyone is safe when they're in the classroom, when we cannot do that social distancing. So that's the biggest piece that we have to make sure we do, making sure that both the teachers and the students are safe when they're in the buildings.
Sure. Well, we appreciate your time this afternoon. Good luck on Monday, and I hope the new school year kicks off well.
Sure. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We'll be back with Garrett after this.
Great. Bye-bye.